warning, if you need us, you won't find us. We're going to be in the Ozark National Forest, so I've got my Garmin on, and if you're in the select friends and family, you can reach me that way. Hey, it is early December. It's Saturday morning. We're headed out to look for some Sasquatch footprints. Going on a solo camp this morning. It's supposed to be cold tonight. The chef's got some soup made, so we've got the dinner all prepared and taken care of. All we got to do is heat it up. We kind of thought about this. We did not take the refrigerator, and I'm like, how can you overland without a refrigerator?
This is camping, not just moving your house.
I know. I got all this gear, but it's like, well, we don't need it. It's like, what do we need to put in the refrigerator? Not very much. And I'm like, save space. It comes out. So we got it in a little small cooler. So yeah, I'm
save space if you do it right.
Yeah, I'm trying to be all bougie, but don't need it. So yeah,
I lied about saving space.
Yeah, we still got way too much stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get the awnings set up, and you'll see some trail footage on this video, and we're gonna cover about half the Ozark National Forest today. Where most of it's gonna be highway, but we're gonna hit a couple of trails here and there, and then hit some trails tomorrow morning on our way home, because we got to get home so we can get the boy to roll on. So. All right, well, we'll less talk, more trail footage, and we'll check you soon. So Kate and I Jeep's way back up there. So Kate and I have been exploring. I had a friend of mine post something about some Sasquatch type footprints cast in stone. I was like, I gotta go check that out. Not big into the Sasquatch thing, I just thought it was fun. So we are out here, and you can see the stone down below us. My beautiful wife Kate, which I'm headed to now. We were trying to figure out how to find the message. So this is a lesson in last minute prep when you call an audible and go, oh hey, let's go look at this tomorrow. I'm lucky I had phone service because I could not find the message that said where it was, specifically where to go. I just had a waypoint and was like, we'll find it. Better to have the actual information given. So I have to shout out to my friend who gave me the information, the coordinates, and said it's just here, creek on the opposite side, blah blah blah. And we're walking around looking for it by the time I found the message, and she goes, oh, right here they are. And I look down, and there is this massive freaking footprint in the stone. And this stone, nobody did this. I don't think anybody carved this into this stone. This is really cool. So I'm going to get a recording of this as I cast the water on this, because he said you got to really get it wet so you can really see the footprint. So this water's freaking cold. I'm going to use this with one hand. Oh, that's cold. Okay. I'm going to have both hands.
Kate and I being skeptics, no signs of tool marks were found. It takes 5,000 to 10,000 years for mud to turn into stone. But we did notice several bubblers also cast into stone, so it seemed whatever made these footprints was in fact real.
Didn't look worse. Okay, so here's a little trail update. We've managed to complete a kind of a sketchy section for being solo, but having done what we've done before and off-roading skills comes into play, we felt confident with, or I felt confident with what we were doing.
I need to learn to have more confidence in you.
Yes. Yeah, and there was some off-camera slick clay stuff. We got up to, I don't know, 23 degrees, which was not too bad. I've managed to learn what 23 degrees means with a rooftop tent. It just feels so like it's
wrong.
really
Feels wrong.
Yeah, it feels wrong. Yeah, it feels wrong, not right.
It's wrong.
It feels so top heavy with a rooftop tent. Whereas if you do 22 or 23 degrees with no rooftop tent, it doesn't feel like anything at all. So, but with a rooftop tent, when you got probably 165 pounds rooftop tent plus another 80 pounds of roof rack and another 35 pounds worth of awning, it just feels really tipsy. So we were fine. I think I've had it to 24 and 25 degrees before with a rooftop tent, but even then it felt like it was just hanging on by toenails to keep from flipping. So anyway, we managed to get past that, saw some really cool sights, passed by Union Schoolhouse, chatted with some nice folks today, and we've got some pretty decent trail footage. So we could have done more, but we had some people behind us and I want to hold them up. So we're on our way towards Sand Gap. I think I mentioned that. If we're to go get our camp set up for the night, because I've got a campsite that I want us to go camp at by a creek, and we're going to do a little light off-roading tomorrow on our way out, and possibly see if we can go head out through Jasper and go, what is it, the Ozark Cafe?
Yes.
And Kate wants a cheap meal at Ozark Cafe, which I can't say is a blunder. It's really good food. And then we're going to head home. So maybe we'll see a little bit more trail footage tonight, and then we're probably going to do a little time-lapse video setting up camp, because we're going to get out probably one, if not both, awnings tonight. We'll see what the weather has in the forecast. So we'll stay tuned and we'll get some more trail footage. Oh, and side note, I was trying to be romantic and sweet.
It would have been funnier if we caught it on camera.
Tell Kate how much I love her. She was saying, well, thank you for tagging along, or letting me tag along. I'm like, no, you're not tagging along. You're my partner, my wife. And as I'm sitting there trying to be real sweet, she's eating mini vanilla wafers. And I slowly feel a mini vanilla wafer getting crawled up my nose.
It was an awkward, silent moment, and so I was trying to break the tension.
Wow. We were laughing so hard.
I snorted.
She was like, why didn't we get that on film? I'm like, there's probably a reason for that. All right, we gotta go. Okay, Kate, go ahead and say it.
What?
Boulder. Go ahead and say it.
I love what you've done with the place. I like that. That's a nice boulder.
She has to say it every time. That's a big boulder. Lots of nice boulders. Oh, look at this. driving up a creek. No, we actually double checked. That's the trail. The creek has shifted. That's the road. So literally the road has routed right, or the creek has routed right through the trail. Odd. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And you got to be very careful. You get these large rocks out here in the middle of the water. I'm on 35 and 3.5 inches of lift, and there was a few spots where I was hoping I wouldn't fail, like right there. That might have been my paint. I don't think it might have been, I don't know. You just got to be careful when you're crossing the stream. Well, here's an update. We've made it to camp. Got ourselves set up. It's funny because I got to start all over now because as I started recording this previously, I realized I still had it on time-lapse mode. So,
which I can't wait to see.
Yeah, that's going to be odd. So what I had said earlier was that this was my first time using planning a route. Combination of trails that I have done before and a combination of trails that I have not done before in conjunction with U.S. highways, and I'd have to do the math and do the total. Maybe I can plug in a number here and show how many miles we actually covered today, but geez,
that'd be neat. I'd like to know that.
We covered a lot of miles today, so without going into my exact route, we covered a lot. I would say we probably covered half of the Ozark National Forest. Came in down the middle of it and then went far east. So we've covered a whole lot today with fair share of it being off-road too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think we had, I have to look back, was it 2 hours hour? There was an hour on the highway, I believe.
To get here, I think, hour
on the highway.
Maybe.
So anyway, long story short, I averaged, when I did the routes, I would break the routes up into chunks, figure out, okay, this is an off-road section. Average about 5 miles per hour for this distance, so I took the distance, divided it by 5 to get an average. Worked out fine. So I said I wanted to be at camp by 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock at the latest. And what I was saying earlier was that when we pulled in about a mile down the road here, it was 4 o'clock and 32 seconds. So just happened to get lucky that I was like spot on. But every time I had like a periodical check-in, I was either falling behind or right on time. So we managed to make up time where we were off. So I'm kind of proud of myself, learning to use Gaia better and averaging, trails that reading the map, reading the contours. If you see a lot of switchbacks real tight and close together, it's probably going to be rocky. Stuff like that. So
I'm really proud of you for scheduling it so well to get us here on time. Your setup and everything in the daylight and finishing just as the sun's going down. We've got a fire. There was no rushing, trying to freak out and do it all in the dark and trip over rocks. The timing was perfect.
Yep, it worked out just right. We got here at just after 4, fussed around with the Jeep trying to level it up, and was
Go treads! Holy cow!
Yeah, I got a stack of Go treads that was quite high. Well, the problem is because of what I'm sitting on. The Jeep is kind of sitting on. This is a great campsite, but it's got a horrible little rock mound right where you need to park your rig, so your Jeep is kind of off camber. So I leveled it up.
Insert picture of Go treads here.
Yeah, I'll plug in some. It's comical. So it looks like I'm posing, which maybe I am. But anyway,
if it works, it works. See the.
That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway. We've got camp set up. So this is one of the things I wanted to talk about very briefly. I know nobody wants to listen to me talking videos, but this one, we're going to do a whole camp cooking segment, a whole video on it, showing how you can prep meals and save space, save time. So we've got pre-made taco soup that's frozen, and it's we're thawing it out now. We're going to have fresh taco soup. It's going to be delicious. Or actually, it's chicken tortilla soup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chicken tortilla soup. And then
all
she's
taco
got
ingredients.
yeah.
So
Then we also have, she made homemade fresh pastries, like literally homemade from scratch fresh pastries. We're gonna have that for breakfast, so we're not gonna have camp cook set up and tear down in the morning, which is good.
Sit up in the tent, make coffee, eat
Yep.
pastries, and done.
And stay warm too.
Yes,
So got the diesel heater.
good point.
So it's supposed to start raining here at about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. So we're gonna go ahead and pack up everything but the tent, and basically all we have to do is just finish putting the tent up, and then we're gonna head out. So that way we're not breaking down and tearing down early in the morning, especially if it's raining. So it's a little after 5, probably about 5:30 right now, and we're fixing to eat dinner and settle in, and maybe I can try to do another time lapse with all the lights on and stuff. So we've got a campfire set up and we're ready to go. So we've got a few more videos coming up. I'm going to do a walk around of our rig. I'm going to do a wheel review of 2 sets of wheels that I have from Rock Tricks, which is a very good set of wheels. I'm also going to do some specials, a special video on Go Treads, because a lot of people are on the fence about Go Treads versus Max Tracks. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the cooking segment. We've got at least two more camp trips that we're fixing to set up.
Yeah.
So
before the end of the year.
Yep.
Wow.
Or yeah, at least but just before, at least 2 more camping trips if possible.
Nice.
Maybe just shortly after January 1st. But
Okay.
we're trying to make up for some lost time, and I'm going to see how much better and faster I can get at editing videos. So we appreciate, if you've made it this far, we appreciate you following us, and appreciate that the content that we try to produce. This is a husband and wife team, so we try to make it more about us. There's plenty of other channels that are all about the hardcore wheeling and stuff, but this is more about a documentary of us and our adventures together, and us enjoying the outdoors and enjoying my home state, Kate's
My
current
adopted.
adopted home state.
I grew up in Illinois, so
so-
this is very
so-
different.
Yes, very. So we enjoy getting out, and we saw so much scenery today, so many beautiful sights, and covered a lot of territory. Kate actually got to drive some, so I need to work on that because she was a little nervous. So we'll work on getting you some more trail
I just
time.
don't like when you look out and you can't see the ground, and you know that it's a good 10 or 20 feet in front of you
Yeah,
that you
we'll get
can't see,
We'll work
and you're
on it.
trying to just. I remember where the rock is. I remember where the rock.
We'll work on it. Yeah, we'll work on
Yeah.
it. So anyway, we're gonna get some tortilla soup heated up here, so we will catch you in the morning. So as you can see, we are airing the Jeep back up, heading paved trails all the way home. We are near Pedestal Rock, if that gives you any idea, which I would like to drive by and see. We're kind of in a time crunch. We need to get back. We've got a 16-year-old that's, or almost, I'm going to call it, he's a 17-year-old that has got a weekly commitment that he has to get to at 3:30 today, so we need to be home by 3 so we can take him to that. So we're trying to rush. We're hoping to stop in Jasper at Ozark Cafe, get a delicious lunch, but we may be a little hard pressed for time. This trail took quite a bit longer than I expected. We did jump on a short section of trail that I've done three times now. This is the fourth time I've been on it. I barely recognized it. It's eroded so much from high water and erosion, and the creeks have washed out quite a bit. So I'm going to jump off here and get these tires aired up. We recommend the Ozark Cafe. If you're ever in town in Jasper, give it a try.